Eighth grader Louis Esposito is putting Bunker Hill Middle School and Washington Township on the map. WTTV stopped in to visit with Louis, his teacher and principal, as he prepares for his appearance in the state semifinal round of the National Geographic Geo Bee on March 29th at Rowan University.
It's run by the National Geographic and the Humanities program here in the middle school. We put together the Geobee test using the questions that they provide us over at National Geographic. Then we conduct a school-wide exam where all the students throughout the entire school participate in this exam, and the top 10 scorers from each grade came down one day and essentially battled it out against each other. And I took the top scorer from each grade and then had them go against each other, so that way it came down to a final round of 3 students, and then Louis ended up winning that final round. And then after that, National Geographic has a further test for the school champion, and the school champion takes that test, and if they qualify based on the results, they will become essentially a finalist for this competition coming up on the 29th over at Rowan University. They pick the top 100 students throughout the entire state, and they do this in all 50 states. And essentially, if you win this competition, you're going to go to D.C. to be the national champion. There are definitely questions that even I would have very struggled with. And I was really surprised with a lot of the students, not just Louis, but other students as well. A lot of them really seem to like geography and seem to know things right off the top of their head. Louis Everett he did not get a single question wrong, did not miss a beat. He was answering questions before I even finished some of them, so he was just on a roll.
A book about the 50 states was the first thing I read about geography. I'd look up books, I'd look in books, and I'd look up stuff on the internet. I'd do a bunch of things. I have done quizzes on a website called sporkle.com. I have done quizzes, even history quizzes, like back in like all the countries in 1900 and 1950 and stuff like that. I don't just do modern countries. I did one quiz on Sporkle, name every single country in the world, and I only think I missed 2 or 3 countries. I believe, because I didn't know how to spell it, it was like Martinique. The other one was the Comoros, because they're near invisible on the map. And then the last one I don't remember. I first did the Geobee it was either 3rd or 4th grade, and I didn't win. In 5th grade, I think I won, but I didn't get school champion. And I remember the question I got wrong in 5th grade too. It was like, which Portuguese-speaking country did something. I don't know the full question, but I remember it was a Portuguese. The answer was Brazil, but I put Portugal because I was like, Portuguese, because at the time I wasn't studying it. I didn't study enough, and I didn't know that Brazil spoke Portuguese at the time, and I didn't know colonialism that much back then. That's what got me wrong in 5th grade. 6th grade, I actually, for some reason, just don't remember what happened. It's just a blur for me for some reason. But last year, one kid beat me by a little bit. And actually, I think I tied with another kid. But I think that was just because the question was a little worded weirdly. It was talking about a park or something, is in which state along the Potomac River. And I thought they were just asking I misheard it and thought they were asking which 2 states which state borders the Potomac River. And I was like, Virginia, because Virginia does border the Potomac River along with Maryland. And I was like, I misheard I was upset because I misheard the question. And then in 8th grade, with Mr. Prasad coaching the Geobee, the one question I remember really well was one of my first ones, and it was talking about Viking ships in the city of Oslo in which country. I think that was the question, and it was like, what country is Oslo in? And I was immediately, before he even finished the question, I raised my hand and went, Norway. Because the second I heard Oslo, I knew Norway, because Oslo is the capital of Norway. So I just put the pieces together before you could even finish the question, really. I actually am pretty I guess you could say, equal with the globe. I can easily point out most countries, if not all countries, on a globe. I can point out all the continents. I can find any city that's marked on the globe. Easy. I really have no trouble with any parts of the globe.
It's going to be pretty exciting. This is actually my first year as the humanities advisor here at Bunker Hill, so that's a great honor to have a student already make it to the next round. So I might even try to volunteer to help out. What's going to happen is at this event on the 29th at Rowan, they will have preliminary rounds to narrow it down to the top 10 students in the states, and those 10 students will essentially battle it out against each other, and that will be the final round where they kind of go back and forth until there's only one person left. So I'll be really excited, hoping Louis can make Bunker Hill and Washington Township proud and then represent not just Township but all of New Jersey in the state in the national finals.
We're just so proud of Louis. We're very proud of Bunker Hill, and we're very proud that Louis is going to be an ambassador for us, representing us at Rowan. It's just he's a great person, smart kid, and I just think this is a wonderful opportunity for him in the school.
I will obviously be nervous that day, but I'm going to try my best to pull through. Yeah.